Hey everybody, thank you for to be coming on to see Soneca Chats. Hi. Super excited because the one and only Ken Downing will be joining me, and this is really exciting. So, oh hey Harry, thank you. So in a moment, I will be introducing Ken Downing, and we're gonna be talking all about what's gonna be happening with the fashion future. Maybe give us a little backstory, where he is today, and so here we go. I'm looking for Ken. All right, hi Ken. All right, let me see. All right, waiting for a couple of people to get on. Oh my God, I do have to wear my bracelet. Yes, I do. I'm sorry, I took it off. Harry Berry, he makes amazing bracelets, people. I met him at Dion Fostenberg's store right before the whole coronavirus thing, and he makes the most exquisite handmade detailed bracelets. I love them. All right. Let me see how to get Ken to connect. Let's see. No, cancel. All right. All right. So I'm just waiting to get Ken to click on. And normally, hey Gianna, normally, for those of you who've done live, it comes up. So I'm just waiting to see. It's not giving me the opportunity to invite guests. What? All right. Ken, if you hear me, see if it gives you an opportunity, because I am not seeing it, and that is so weird. Huh. Oh, here we go. All right. Ken should be joining us any second. Hey.
Hey, gorgeous. How are you?
Good. How are you? Oh my God, your hair. I love it.
Oh, please don't. It's like I'm back to this kind of like mid 90s Tom Ford for Gucci thing. My kitchen beautician, as much as I love him, just can't seem to change between my house in Dallas and my weekend house here at Cedar Creek Lake. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good. Thank you for doing this with me. I'm so
I'm,
excited. You know, we've met a couple of times over the years, and I just thought, let me reach out to Ken. I have his info. Let's see if we can do this.
we're here. I love the little chandelier behind you.
Oh, do you like it? Yes, I'm in my bedroom, so it's a little. And I thought, I'd get a little stylish for you.
Well, I wish I could say that I'm a little stylish. I came back to Dallas, I think on March 20th, and I thought I was going to be here for a week because I wanted to get Manhattan because I felt it was the height of when the chaos was
Right.
beginning. And so I put a couple of things in a bag and I returned to my roots here. And I've been here now for over 2 months. So I'm kind of living out of what's in the closet. So it's,
Oh my
still
God.
down in between. So a few basics, but you look great. I love your cap. You look fantastic.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, I know it's this is all put as like on a pause. You know what I mean?
I'm ready to hit reset. I think it's time for a reset, don't
Yeah,
you?
how is it? So you're right now in Texas. So aren't they, they've already been opening up, correct?
They have been opening up. You know, it's interesting. I was actually at an opening for a new shop, or this
Hmm.
part of a new shop in Dallas. You probably know Brian Bolke from 4510,
Yeah.
who edited it with Bill Mackin, and he's opened a store, Conservatory. The Conservatory, he has a store in Hudson Yards in New York. He's
Okay.
joining us at American Dream in New Jersey.
Oh,
And he has a beautiful little shop in Highland Park Village in Dallas. But he's opened up I would say probably about a 3,000 square foot shop. And he had maybe 20 people in on Tuesday night, friends, family, you know,
right, right.
notables in Dallas. And people arrived and people were shopping. And
Oh,
it's not
good.
all out. I think we're all very conflicted. And I think it
I
depends
think so.
how comfortable are we going out into public. We all want to embrace each other, and we might have a little bit, but I think we're all conflicted. What's the right amount of right at the moment? But we do have
Right.
to move forward and get back into the world. And so saw a lot of good people that I love and adore from Texas I haven't seen in a while. And I'm
Yeah.
actually my lake house right now for the long weekend with
Okay.
friends.
Oh, nice. So I'm in New Jersey. So I'm like maybe 25 minutes from the American Dream, which I have been to when it first opened up. I took my younger son to Nickelodeon. It was like a soft open and loved it. And the
Okay.
water park, and that kept getting pushed. And then when it was going to open, Corona hit.
It's so unreal. We were getting ready to open the first wave of retail and the DreamWorks water park, and
Right.
actually several of the restaurants and eateries.
Mhm.
And we were opening on March 20th. And so 5 days before, I think it was a Thursday, the world turned upside down.
Upside down.
Walked out with the phone that I'm chatting with you on now and my personal phone. And I never returned. You know, unfortunately, we're all living life on a telephone
Yeah.
and life on Zoom and Team and that kind of thing. Um,
Hmm.
hoping that
Hmm.
live on the property sometime first week of June, maybe, or excuse me, first week of July, maybe July 4th. We're certainly paying close attention to what the CDC is saying, what
Right.
Dr. Murphy is saying, because we want to make sure that when we welcome ourselves back to the community and welcome our guests from the community to us, that we are ready for everyone and that it's a super safe environment. And that's what we talk about every day. We have multiple
Right.
calls
Right.
about all the good things we're going to be doing to create a really safe, warm, and comforting environment when we go live again.
I know. I mean, what are they considering any of the retail stores doing curbside? Because I know one of the malls here in Bergen County, I just got an email that they were gonna, some select stores were gonna start doing curbside.
We are, when Governor Murphy actually started to open up the few things they began to open,
Hmm.
we now actually have construction live on the property again. So some of the retail that was just at the ends of being completed is getting ready to be completed all over and coming to its end. But we will be doing curbside as well. So there'll be places to shop,
Right.
places to eat. Um,
Hmm.
Lodian is waiting and ready
Oh
for
my
everyone,
God.
social distanced. We have a lot of messaging. And so not only to let you know that we're going to be taking great care of you and how we're protecting you, but also how you can protect yourself on the property as well. And
Hmm.
DreamWorks Water Park will be going live. And the fun thing about the park,
Really? Oh my God.
no,
That
it's, it,
well,
it's
humongous. People like this is huge. I mean, this is going to be a destination for people who are not from the New York City area. I mean, when they're going to that's going to be a place people jump to. You know what I mean? It's like everything. It's an experience.
in. You're going to absolutely love it. And because of the chlorine in the water and
Uh-huh.
because of chemicals that are necessary all the time, even
Right.
the idea that you can enjoy a great time in a glass atrium where you can actually get a suntan through the
Oh,
glass
I know. It's great.
rays, and it lets in the good UV rays with views of Manhattan.
And there's cocktails. Will they have a little cocktail lounge also for the parents?
There is actually, there
Very
is.
good. That's very good.
Little Poochie bikini and a little bit of a jacket, and the way you can go. It's actually a very glamorous water park. We have 31 Um, 31 of the cabanas that are designed by Jonathan Adler.
Oh, really? Wow.
Jonathan's a big part of the property.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
He's
Wow.
doing, Jonathan's doing the cabanas. He's doing
Uh-huh.
luxury sitting salons in the luxury wing, and he's also
Mhm.
designing a ski lodge as well.
Oh, wow. The ski lodge
What do you,
too.
Jonathan's born and bred in New Jersey, and though he now resides in New York City with his husband,
Really?
but he's a New Jersey boy, so we're super excited about celebrating.
Wow. That's great. I have to tell you, I mean, I'm not originally from New Jersey, but um,
Now
so
we're
many people are from New Jersey.
well, Susan Sarandon's from New Jersey, and
Yeah.
so New Jersey.
Rachel Zoe is from New Jersey. I mean, there's a list of names.
Yes, exactly. They but because everybody talks about John Bon Jovi and that kind of thing. So,
Mhm.
but there's a lot of really famous people from there.
Oh, there's a lot of famous people. I don't know if maybe they're trying to go under the radar.
No,
But
my good friend Whoopi Goldberg lives in New Jersey. In fact, she was one of the first people we did a pop-up shop with. So it was really
mhm.
I love Whoopi. She is a real true individual, and though she was born in New York, she considers herself a Jersey girl, and she's a big fan of American Dream, and one of the first Dream Drop shops that we did, where we brought in her book, her property, and it was in
Oh, really?
her books. We brought in her ready to wear collection and her ugly Christmas sweaters. We brought her in fall season, so
Hey, they're not too ugly. You know what I mean?
calls them.
But so how did they come up? Because being that I live here, it was an eyesore, and it used to be called Xanadu. That took forever to build, and then I love the new change of the name and how it just started speeding up.
So you have to know, because it's called Xanadu, I wanted to have Olivia Newton-John come do
Oh,
a party around the water park. And so I reached
oh
out to
my God.
and the next thing I find out, she's not performing anymore, according to her manager, which is super disappointing. But he was lovely, but I thought it'd be really fun to kind of poke the bear a little bit and poke the idea of Olivia
That
being.
would have been awesome. That would have, I mean, listen, for the younger generation who doesn't know that album, that would have been like,
But
chit.
everybody knows that music. It's so fun. It's such
Oh,
fun
I love it. I love it. Of course, I used to go roller skating to some of that music. Not to date myself.
getting ourselves. So, are you wearing sweatpants this entire time you've been
Um, you know
like?
what? I mean, kind of, but I'm starting to get like, I'm wearing jeans, and I'm like, oh, thank God they fit.
Oh,
um,
I'm actually
but
dressed every. I'm up. I shave. I shower. I put myself together,
yeah.
and it's a good thing. It's a good thing.
I think so. I mean, I'm starting to try to tell that to clients and to people like, I think you feel better when you get dressed up. It's just a different mindset, even if you're home and you're not doing much. But now that the country, even we're slowly but surely getting on our way as well. Like Memorial Weekend, I think a lot of people are going to be venturing to the beaches and whatnot. Again, treading the waters, but I think people are going to start getting excited to be alive.
It's going to be interesting. I think, as I said earlier, I think we're all conflicted.
Mm.
We absolutely all want to do the right thing, and
Right.
many of us are. We're wearing our masks when we're in public. We're making sure that we're social distancing, even though we want to be close to our friends. But we're also antsy to get back into the world again, and finding the perfect balance between having the ability to live your life and know that we have to matriculate back into society
Mm,
at some
mm,
time.
mm,
It's going to be really important. So I
yeah.
hope the process of matriculation doesn't make us look like we're not caring. But I think at the end of the day, we all care and we all love, but we have to do it for the right reasons.
Right. And just be, vigilant of what we need to do to protect ourselves and to protect others that maybe, don't have such a strong immune system.
But yeah, I tell you, one of the reasons, I mean, I was conflicting myself about leaving Manhattan, but what I wanted to do was I also thought it would be smarter to leave to leave New York, and why should I be taking up resources that other people may need since I had the
Mhm.
ability to get out of the city?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I want to feel like I did abandon Manhattan, but there were people that probably needed some of the resources more than I did, and the fact that I could have got out and I was working remotely, as many people are,
Yeah.
it felt like the right thing to do. Now I've changed my plane ticket 8 times, I think, by now. Like, it's time to go back. It's time to go back, but I haven't. I'm supposed to leave on Sunday, but I'm changing that plane ticket too. Don't tell American Airlines that I'm
Oh, okay. We won't say anything American Airlines.
Airlines. They're actually very, very good to me, so they're
Yeah,
very.
yeah, I tend to travel for whatever reason. I tend to travel with them a lot as well. But yeah, I mean, listen, there's no rush and I mean, it is pretty. They supposedly New York, New Jersey is pretty bad with this, so you're probably safer where you're at. And if you can work remotely, then you're probably better off doing it as long as you can.
I actually think it's going to change how many of us work. I think the idea of working remotely is going to become much more the norm than
Right.
exception. And even
Hmm.
American Dream in our corporate offices, we're looking at staggering when people are in the office. We're looking at work from home days that are going to be needed. For myself as a chief creative officer and all of the design
Hmm.
doing and the creative piece of it, some things you can create and be super creative over a call, but some physically be looking at the stone, the marble, the wall covering, the wallpaper, the which is wall covering, the text. You have to see it all in one place and
Right.
feel and see the color in real light. But we're working through it. We're working through it.
Right, right. I think so too. And I think I've been on some Zoom conference calls like with a lot of other people in the fashion industry. And I think just like you said, they're looking to scale down. Some of them have these massive, paying rent in New York City when now they know that they don't need to have everybody. Do you know what I mean? And so they can have people working out of home.
Good to be adapting. It's funny. I've been talking about the change of the fashion show and the change of the fashion calendar and
Mhm.
fashion cycle
Yeah,
probably 4 or 5 years now. And how relevant is the fashion show? How big does the fashion show need to be? Is it smart to put a fashion show in front of the public when clothes are being shown in September and you're Instagramming and tweeting about clothes in the
yeah,
month of September, and everybody wants it in that time, but they don't show up till March.
exactly.
It's a real kind of it's a real kind of rewind and refresh to how we're going to be dealing with
Yeah,
everything.
I mean, I think some designers are trying to get on the bandwagon, if I'm not mistaken, to go back to buying your clothing. If you're getting a winter coat, purchase it in the winter. If you're getting a bathing suit, purchase it in. Whereas, July, I go to the stores and all I'm finding are sweaters.
Well,
So
you have to ask yourself, not even about a coat in winter. Think about when you get snow on the East Coast. It can often be March and I mean April.
yeah,
Snowed in May in Manhattan. I know you got snow in New Jersey too, just like 2 weeks ago.
yeah,
So
and not a lot.
and giving the customer what they want and on a timetable when they want it. So
Yeah.
a new moment. It's
Yeah,
going
it's going to, and what are your thoughts on Fashion Week? Do you think it's going to happen this
no, I think
September?
one size fits all for what Fashion Week could or could not be. But I've said that all along. There's we're going to have to every brand, every
Hmm.
every collection is going to have to deal with this in a way that's going to be right for their brand. It's going to be
Right,
right for how they want to represent themselves. I mean, when you look now at New York Fashion Week, London, Milan, Paris, the enormity of people that are there that aren't even necessarily intricately involved in the industry. Look back at Fashion Week in New York. You used to go to Bill Blass's showroom, and it was
right.
the buyers at a little salon show. I think we're going to see a
Hmm.
lot more of that kind of smaller environment as we navigate what fashion is going to look like. I think that we've all gotten a little turned on by these big, over the top, audacious fashion shows that, I mean, you your entire life traveling the globe, going from pre-collection runway, pre-collection runway, runway. I think we're going to probably see a little less of that in the
Right,
short term.
right, right,
And maybe if brands do them, maybe they do one big extravaganza a year. But
right, right,
we're more comfortable with people being closer together. I think it's when you see concerts that are going to be happening again, when you see sporting events. But do we need to have all of these people gathered together, going show after show? It might not
right.
be and as modern of an idea as people have thought it's been in the past.
Right. And I mean, maybe some of them will do presentations. Like that's a nice way of showing the collection and then having like a time frame when you come in and so many people. So, I mean, that's another thing they could do.
It's going to get a little bit more intimate, at least in the short term. You know,
Right,
I I don't love to predict long term.
right, right,
And pretty long term. But the idea of how we all come out of this is going to be
mhm,
how we choose to come out of it. And I also believe that we're going to come out of this differently in different parts of the country and different parts of the world. And depending on where you live globally, where you live nationally,
mhm,
how it affected where you live or do not, we're all going to
right.
come out of it way.
So now, like I was listening to some designers and stylists speaking over the weekend, and they were on a Zoom and they were like just saying a lot of the designers, like say Pamela Roland, she was saying she doesn't she's putting a pause on her collection. She's rethinking. She had just designed and now she's rethinking. Like she doesn't know if this is what's going to work. You know what I'm trying to say?
Remember, was it's spring collections that just showed, and then Europe
Mhm.
closed down, US closed down.
Right.
Who's sewing it? I mean, what are the factories are just now beginning to like open up, and they're now just bringing people back into the fold. So,
Right.
the fall collections, the pre-fall and fall collections, have been in production. I think there's probably a little bit of a concern. Will customers be ready to go back into stores? Will
Right.
they shop? They're certainly shopping
Right.
online. We're seeing somewhat of a. I'm hearing in the industry about a 25% uptick in online.
Really?
Um,
Wow.
Not enough to counterbalance the miss in brick and mortar.
Right. Right.
But I do think, we're seeing in Asia where there's people are just saying all came out and shopped at one time crazy, and then they pulled back again. And
Right. Right. Right.
people excited to get out of the house, excited for new, fresh things. But I think people are going to be a little bit more cautious. I think we're going to go from where we are, where we've been sheltered in place, and I think
Yeah.
we're going to be cautious, and how we react to cautious and what happens
Mhm.
in the cautious period is going to have a lot to say about how we go into the next chapter, the next phase, how we start responding to things.
Right, right. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. It's all about everybody's being trepidatious and taking the, certain precautions necessary and, not sure, if they're not going to events, is it necessary to buy all that fancy clothing? Is it going to be more of an
Always
athleisure type of clothing that we're going to be looking at?
dress up for home. Yeah, I have to tell you, I'm tired of wearing sweatpants. I only wear sweatpants when I dress them up. In fact, I have an amazing pair of red sequin joggers from Naeem Khan that he created for
Oh,
me,
do you?
black tie. Well, I mean, here's the one, a red sequin Naeem Khan jogger with like white Keds. Um, but I'm, I think people are going to be hungry to dress up when we get out of this situation.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Oh, no, I think so. I mean, just to do the live, I got an excuse to put some makeup on.
I, I do not live without a little sponge of a little something in front.
Oh, that's so good. I need to do that. Oh my God.
Listen, nobody wants, I mean, true confessions, but I mean, nobody wants to really look the way I think we all look. You look great actually on a Zoom.
Oh, oh,
I,
thank you. Thank you.
I'm loving how I look all the time, but I'm embracing it, and we're going to do this, and we're going to all get through
Yeah,
this.
we're all gonna get through it. I'm not worried about it. Just being cautious, I guess.
What's
So now, what are your
on?
thoughts with I wanted to ask you, obviously you were with Neiman Marcus for 28 years and with them filing bankruptcy, like, do you think they're going to be able to pull through?
You know, so if you think you're the first person that's asked me this question,
I'm sure I'm not.
you know,
I'm sure your phone has been ringing off the hook
my
once
phone,
they made that announcement.
look, and I will tell you, I loved my years at Neiman Marcus. The 28, almost 29 years I was there were some of the most remarkable years of my life. I met some of the most amazing designers, amazing creatives, the most amazing customers who I still run into from time to time. I wish Neiman Marcus only the very, very best, and I believe that the management team that's there will see
Mhm.
themselves through this. You know, Neiman Marcus is 113 years old,
Yeah,
and lost Barney's. We're losing some other retailers along the way because of the coronavirus, or so they're saying. I think there's a place for Neiman Marcus in the
yeah,
retail.
definitely.
Neiman Marcus is so different. It's a very generational type of retail experience, not only brick and mortar, but also online. In fact, had ran into a couple of customers the other night at the opening of Brian's, and you know, they shopped there, their mother shopped there, their grandmother shopped there, their
Mhm.
shopped there.
Right.
Everyone has this beautiful story about the first time they shopped at Neiman Marcus, when their grandmother, their mother, the first thing they, those are memories that stay with you forever. And you know,
Mhm.
in an interesting way, though I'm no longer with Neiman Marcus, that I
Mhm.
creating memories is something I brought to American Dream. And I wanted to take the idea of service, the idea
Right.
of creating amazing memories, and making American Dream far more than the M word, because I don't, we're not a mall, we're a mega metropolis.
Yeah.
It's
Oh my God.
in a
It's
city.
an experience. No, I mean, ski, like you said, skiing, aquarium,
Did
right? Like everything.
you get on our slopes yet?
No, I was going to, and then it just never happened. I mean,
I'll
you
hook,
know,
I'll hook you.
I didn't get there yet. I mean, I will, but with life being so crazy as it was prior to Corona, you know what I mean? Like, I think it's like we almost needed a little pause.
So, so to finish, the idea of making memories and having a place where you can go that becomes part of your life and part of your part of your own personal heritage and history. I hope Neiman Marcus survives because it needs to survive, because
I
we
hope
need
so.
that with the amazing selling associates and the great team that's leading it. Um, I'm proud that I was able to take ideas that Stanley Marcus and even his father Herbert and his aunts Carrie brought, and I can interpret them in a very relevant modern way to what I'm doing, American Dream.
Hmm.
Because
Hmm.
memories are everything. I mean, we're not just talking live on a phone. They're the photo albums of our lives. They
Yeah.
they represent so much more than just being something to talk into. And even
Hmm.
the point we're on American Dream, everything's an Instagrammable moment. If it's the art that I'm commissioning for the property, it's
Hmm.
massive and cinematic, and it's billboard size, and it's exclusive and designed site specific, and some of it painted right on the walls. And and I think what makes Neiman Marcus so different from other retailers, and why it's been different, and what makes American Dream so different, unlike other shopping centers,
Right.
there's this cinematic glamour, this over the top excitement, and the love of creativity. And I
Right.
think if you look at retail today, why retail finds itself in the position it's in, creativity was always an afterthought, and it was
Right.
never part of the bigger equation. The bigger equation was to make money. And listen, I'm a retailer. I want to make money.
Right. Right.
And
Of course.
American Dream, it will be a profitable undertaking, but we understand the value of creativity and of the experience, and not about how you feel when you arrive,
Hmm.
about what does the guest, the customer leave with,
Right.
walk out the door. What's the memory they made? What's the memory
Hmm.
with someone else, what's the memory that they're going to remember and want to come back and make another memory?
Memory.
And that to me, it's the here that will bring
Mhm.
people together. It's the here that will bring them to brick and mortar or to ride what is the world's, award-winning roller coasters at Nickelodeon. This, and I think what we're going through right now proves all the more this matters more than anything. And
Mm.
but that's just my little humble opinion
Yeah,
of it.
no, I mean, it's what I saw, the little that I saw from the entrance I went in to go to Nickelodeon, and I passed the rink. Like you said, like the murals on the walls. I mean, I just couldn't contain myself. It was like, oh my God, another photo op. Like it was beautiful.
And I love those barricades because they're kind of a story of my life in a very subtle way. I love owls, and you probably saw there were owls in some of them.
Mm-hmm.
My grandmother, my mother's mother, collected owls, and so I have a lot of owls in my life. Live, not that I keep them as pets, but they're all over in the trees here at the lake, and decoratively. And I love a retro rewind. So
Mm-hmm.
I like that kind of crazy 80s, almost kind of technicolor that really defined the 80s. And so when you walk on the property, you feel happy.
Yeah.
You're like
Mm-hmm.
hit hard with bright color, happy ideas, happy imagery, and happy people. And I think the sun should always shine at American Dream. It,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think so many malls they're dark and they're oppressive and the front
Yeah.
looks like it's out of an office building. I want it to be your home away from home. And I want people to feel that it's their little corner of the world when they want to get away from the world and join us there. So
Yeah, no, I mean, it's great. And like I said, I think it's definitely going to be a destination spot for when people fly into New York City. Now, I'm trying to remember before all this happened many months ago, is Port Authority thinking of putting some type of like light, like type of train system that would bring directly to American Dream?
the PATH train brings you right into Metropolitan Life Center. In fact,
Okay.
Rolling Stones performed.
Mhm.
They were there for like 2 or 3 performances, and actually
Yeah.
Mick Jagger called out American Dream on stage. We were like,
Good.
um, I mean, you can't get any better endorsement than Mick Jagger talking about you live on stage. Yes, it's the funny thing about American Dream, it's so convenient. It's 22 minutes from Manhattan. You can
Oh, it's super close, people. Super close.
be going from Bergdorf Goodman to Saks Fifth Avenue. Um,
Mhm.
Unfortunately, I don't have a Bergdorf Goodman at American Dream, but happily we do have Saks Fifth Avenue. And
Oh, we do? Oh my God. Thank God. Because they've closed here in New Jersey. Now I'm happy. Yes.
it's actually super chic. The construction's finished. Mark Metrick, the CEO, and his team have done a superlative job with the Saks Fifth Avenue. I have an 8,000 square foot Hermes, 2 floors. Yeah, I mean, and
Oh.
I have the largest Zara that's actually in a facility in the U.S., actually in the world. Um, an enormous Primark. I mean, we're 3.3 million square feet
Wow.
as a metropolis, and when we're finished, we'll be 6.6-ish million with the hotel complexes, the convention center that's planned. We're
Wow.
we're really a city within itself. We will be a population of 17,000 people with everyone that actually works in the building, and
Oh
I mean,
my
that's
God.
all the selling
So
is.
and now once we can start getting out, because it's so big, I think it's going to be easy for those of us once stores to open, like to get in there and not be, on top of everybody.
If you want the most beautiful spaces you've ever seen in your life, if you want shopping with superlative service, we have concierge that follow you from store to store and
Really?
carry your own goods. And if you park at one end of the property, the valet will put it in your car and they'll bring the car to you. We
Really?
do delivery in a 10 plus mile radius. we want you to, we want you to love coming and shopping and dining and experiencing all the crazy parks with us. I mean, as much as we all love Manhattan shopping, we have it all
Mhm.
proof.
Right. Oh, and no, it's going to be great. And like you said, a lot of the people from Manhattan are going to be coming over. Plus, we don't have tax on clothing, so
Not that I want to say that, but you're absolutely right. I
I
mean,
can say it. I can say it because I'm a Jersey girl. No tax on clothing, people.
so there's a special little part of the property that I'm very proud of, and it's actually, we have a garden inside the property, and it's a nod to New Jersey, the Garden State. You know, I often think that New Jersey gets a bad rap. People
It's
always think New Jersey as being, super industrial and what you see on the other
mhm.
side of the river, but it's really beautiful
Oh, it's beautiful.
horse land, deer, rabbits, wildlife,
I
gorgeous.
have all that in my backyard, Ken, so you'll have
I
to come
love
visit.
it. So my secret garden in the property is actually a nod to the Garden State, and the plan is we're going to have a bunny field. COVID has caused me to have to put on hold the gathering and the groups that we're working with on having live rabbits. Your kids can come and hold,
Oh,
play with, and but the garden, even though it's inside, it will change with the seasons. It'll be spring, summer, winter,
oh,
fall. So yeah,
that's
really,
so cute.
it's all live. There's a huge pond and fountain in the middle of it, and I've actually pierced through the garden, so you can walk in amongst the trees and the plantings, and you can be at one with it. And you're literally inside, but you're at one with a garden.
Oh my God. Now, like just the way you're describing it, is that something like maybe people could have a private event possibly once we're allowed to socialize?
Well, I was actually having a cocktail party in there before COVID happened, but so you can do a bridal fashion show. You can get married there. We actually had, before we
Really?
property had to um, take a little nap during COVID. We've had people that actually were getting engaged, and the garden's not even finished yet, and people were getting engaged in the garden,
Wow.
engaged in the water park, and it wasn't even open yet. So it's kind of all that sort of over the top kind of thing. But yeah,
Well,
gardens.
that's great. That sounds like this. I mean, I hope we get over this soon. This sounds amazing. I want to go.
Tell you, from your lips to God's ears, we all have to take care of one another and
Definitely.
positive as much as we can, and this too shall pass.
It definitely will. God willing, yes, it will pass. So you're thinking of coming, hopefully, then you're going to schedule your flight for a
Yeah,
little bit further down the road.
probably on the 10th or something. I mean,
Okay.
unless they change the shelter in place, stay at home
Hmm.
in Manhattan. I mean, I live in New York, even though the project's
Right.
in.
Hmm. No, you'll be able to get out. The thing is, yeah, you'll be fine.
As
There's not a lot of cars or anything like that.
I think I have a lot of dead plants in my
Mm.
apartment right now, and I have no idea what the science project is that I'm growing in my refrigerator, because I thought I would for a week. So
Right.
it's probably a terrarium all of its own. I'll just bring it all to my secret garden and planted it in fact. But I'm I'm a little worried about what's actually in the refrigerator right now, but I'll get past it.
Mhm. All right. Yeah. Just make sure you have, a garbage bag and just throw it all in there.
I like cleaning. Cleaning for me is sports. So
Oh, that's good. That's good to know. So now, is your office going to be at American Dream or on an off-site?
I actually have an office in an office block across the street from the project. I have an office in the project. And I've always said, even in my former career, as long as I have my phone, and I've always had two phones, a work phone and a private phone, anywhere you go is your office. Working
Right.
remotely is not necessarily so new for me, being that I was
Mhm.
in Fashion Weeks multiple times a year for men's collections, women's collections, internationally. I mean, as long as there's Wi-Fi, you're working. And
Right, exactly.
I was one of the very early individuals, even front row. Do you remember the BlackBerry?
Oh, yeah, of course. I loved it. I was so sad when it went away.
I was too, and I thought I'd never understand the iPhone, and then it's like I can't imagine living without it. I took all my notes on my BlackBerry because I could actually take notes in the dark while I was watching a show, choose my ad looks, determine trends, clean up the vocabulary and the text, and I could shoot it off to my buyers in a nanosecond. And everybody else is drawing pictures and writing on a paper, but I was embracing the idea of technologically connecting my teams at a very, very early time when digital was just going to be beginning to happen.
I know. And now this is the world now, Thank God for Wi-Fi and the fact that we have all these great things at our finger touch. And that
When
we can do what we're doing.
happened, they would always Milan Fashion Week would always send out kind of a question. What do you want more of from Milan Fashion Week? And my response
Mhm.
is always Wi-Fi, because and even in Paris, you're in a basement, you're in some dilapidated chapel or church, you're in some crazy fallen down ruin, and there's just no Wi-Fi anywhere. So in an era of tweeting, now TikTok. Are you on TikTok?
I am. I just kind of ventured into it.
I truly am not good at it at all. I barely think I'm managing Instagram very well, but I'm on TikTok. But so Twitter, Instagram, I mean, everything we're supposed to be doing. And you go to Fashion Week, and some of these cities didn't have like enough Wi-Fi to carry what we were doing. So I'm always like, more Wi-Fi, sir. But it's over time. But
So now, will you still be doing fashion shows or not as much since you're doing American Dream?
less. I did New York Fashion Week, and ironically, I was on a business trip with my CEO to Milan and to Paris. But when we started hearing about the news of COVID, we decided that it might not be the smartest thing to do to travel overseas, and we didn't. Um,
Okay.
but listen, there's nothing like Paris. I mean, I love Milan. I eat my way through Milan, and my mouth eats in Milan, and my eyes eat in Paris. I love Paris very, very much. I miss it. I connect with my friends often there, virtually as we're doing.
Yeah, yeah.
Love Milan too, but I leave Milan feeling like I weigh about 20 pounds more than I should. Paris, and I can just walk it all off. So Europe will it'll be waiting for us when we all come out of this.
I know. I mean, I always travel a lot, and this has really put a halt on my travels, but we'll
It's a
get
lot
there.
to reflect on what's important in life, what's not important in life,
Mhm.
and kind of loving our homes. I mean, I'll tell you, if I'm going to put a bet on anything, it's
Mhm.
all about home and home goods right now. I mean,
Oh, absolutely.
yards and their balconies and like, oh my God, I can't look at this anymore. I think the home and interior business is going to go crazy
Oh,
because it's
definitely.
too long.
Absolutely.
But
I'll be, oh, I need a pillow here, or, right. Gardening, getting some flowers, just making everything look beautiful since this is our new, like, this is our staycation.
so, what's your favorite home shop to find a treasure in?
A favorite home shop. Well, I mean, believe it or not, I like Home Goods. Are you familiar with Home Goods?
Um, yes.
I do
Ah,
like, I'm not gonna lie to you, I love Horchow. I do love Horchow, which is affiliated with Neiman Marcus.
it is.
You know, like, gosh, there's a couple of them. Like I like sometimes like the upscale, like the unique kind of things that you can find that you can't find in a home good.
Now, listen. I love great art. I'm a collector. I like interesting either mid-century furniture. I love 80s furniture. I got to figure out what 90s furniture means so I can get on that bandwagon. But I love home goods, and I live on the Upper West Side, and there's an amazing home goods um, in Columbus Square, and I just wonder. To me, it's such a journey. It's like I got throw pillows from there. Every almost free. My mother loves Home Goods. She lives up in Seattle. They have good stuff. I mean,
Oh, they do. They really do. And I'm like dying. I wish they were open up now if they could do curbside.
right. I mean, I'm such a high-low kind of guy. I mean, I love Prada, I love Saint Laurent, I love Zara. I mean, and there's that is how we live.
But Home Goods does kind of sell the high end. I mean, and depending upon what city you live in too, believe it or not, I've been told that the Home Goods in Connecticut, like near Greenwich, like is really good.
Like good? Do we have to do
That's
a
what I heard.
Home Goods?
Yeah.
If Home Goods is listening, you'll need to send us a little gift because we're giving you
Yeah.
props.
Yeah, I know, right? Yes, maybe a gift card.
I actually, I think it's more fun that you can mix and match and do all that. So it's kind
Well, and I mean that's about that's the whole thing about having style, whether it's home style or your personal style. It's how you mix and match and put it together and keep people guessing.
well, the curiosity of something and its provenance and where someone got it, I think is the allure of a great room and the allure of a great home. And even when you're getting dressed, the allure of what someone's wearing because you don't know it immediately because it has a logo on it.
Mhm.
I think a person should always be seen first more than their clothes. Clothes are in their own way kind of the environment you live in, but your personality and you should be first. The clothes should just be a lovely addition to how you present yourself. So when I see the outfit first, and I know it's kind of not the right outfit for someone, because I really want to. It's all about this. Bob Mackie
Yeah.
told me to go. In Hollywood, it's all about this, and the rest get lost in the fold. So
Really? Oh, he said that. Okay. That's good to know. But
I've worked with them all. I've worked one way or the other. I've worked with them all, and looking forward
I mean, yeah, I mean, like you've worked with every major designer out there, you know? I mean,
pretty much. There's probably a few, maybe not, but for the most part, pretty much a lot. And we'll do it again. We'll
yeah,
all
definitely, definitely. So I just want to say thank you so much for doing this. We had a really good conversation. I loved it.
Who doesn't love to chat? You're so sweet. I'm very honored and thank you for making me part of what you're doing and bringing.
Well, you know, I'm trying to keep, you know, like I'm a stylist, and because I'm home and I'm not able to style, I'm like, let me talk to some great fashion people and let's bring the conversation.
I am reliving everything in my closet that I haven't brought into New York. In fact, I have a lot of my Tom Ford Gucci from the 90s here. So that's why I'm growing my Gucci hair back out at this. I can't find an eyeliner pencil, but if I had one, I'd probably be smearing it on right now too. But I love you, my dear. Be safe.
Thank you so much, you too,
Well,
and hopefully I'll see you
yeah.
soon. Bye. Thank you.
My
Bye,
dear.
everybody. Bye.